Hi, welcome to the Get Strong and Healthy podcast. My name is Anna Clow. Thank you for being here. Today, we are going to talk all about simple things in your day-to-day life that are screwing up your hormones. Okay, and specifically today, we're going to talk about common endocrine disruptors that we find in your typical household items, your personal care, etc. Okay. And so what an endocrine disruptor is really any substance, any sort of additive that is getting into your body and potentially disrupting your hormonal balance, which can lead to different health issues, right? So consuming or applying or using these different toxic things in our environment over time can lead to poor health outcomes. And so we want to see how we can swap these different things and really set our environments up for the most success in helping us live the healthiest life possible. Okay, so I want to preface this episode by making this abundantly clear that this stuff, hearing it all at once, might feel a little bit overwhelming. If you have no exposure to this world of what, different toxic kind of products are, you might feel like, oh my gosh, I have to throw everything away. I have to buy everything new. And I would say to probably not go about things in that way. If you want to, and if you have the means to, sure. But if you can't quite rehaul your whole life at once, that's totally okay. I want you to think about this as a very long-term process, as something that you do over time. Okay. So if you're using a laundry detergent that is not going to be the best thing for your health, and you now become aware of that, instead of tossing it, probably what I would do is use it up and then moving forward for the rest of my life, choose the one that's going to not be a negative thing for my health. Okay. And so this is what I would say goes for all these things. And I would say just start with the biggest ones that you think are going to have the most impact. And I'll share with you what I think that is in a second. But so really want to just stress to you, and I laugh because I'm about to say to not stress too much about this stuff. Okay. I think it's very important and it's something that everyone should have awareness on and begin to change. But for most of us, it's not realistic to overhaul our whole entire lives and change all these things if we've, been unaware of these different concepts. So let's dive on into things that you can change in your environment to optimize your health. Okay, first thing we got to touch on is water. Okay, water is a big one. If you drink tap water, I want you to stop that right now. But seriously, drinking high quality filtered water is going to be the way to go. And definitely not plastic water bottles. First off, that's not going to be good for the environment. That's going to be terrible for the environment if all you're drinking is plastic water bottles. Definitely get yourself a high quality water bottle, something stainless steel, something that is not going to leach into your water. Because if you're using plastic, that's going to over time leach into your water, especially if you're leaving it out in a warm car. If they're out in the sun, never, ever, ever drink water when it's in a plastic bottle and it's been in a warm environment. That's just going to leach different microplastics into the water, and that is going to get into your body. And we don't want to have microplastics in our bodies. So the water filter that I would recommend is, I have two that I love. I have a Berkey and I also have an AquaTrue. These are really great options for like a on the counter one. You just fill up the tank and then it filters it. What some people do is they get a whole new water system inserted into their whole entire house, like a reverse osmosis thing for, all your sink water, everything like that. That's going to be definitely a big investment, but a very good option if you are able to invest in that way. But if not, I would highly recommend just one for on the counter is a really, really great, easy option. So yeah, AquaTrue or Berkey are my two favorites. Something else relating to water that not a lot of people think about is the water that they're showering with and the water that they might be bathing with. Is are we filtering that water as well? You can get a shower filter like from Amazon for, pretty affordable. I've got one on my shower and it just makes me, feel like, okay, I'm showering and I'm not just, showering, putting this water on my skin, which by the way, your skin is an organ. Your skin is absorbing everything that we're putting onto it. We're not just putting this water that is not very high quality and, all that stuff's kind of getting into your body. So highly recommend a little shower filter, gives you some peace of mind. I don't have a bath filter for the bathtub that I use, but that's something kind of on my mind that I'm going to be picking up at some point soon. So that is water. Next thing I'll get into is home household products. So a couple things. First off is what laundry detergent are you using? Laundry detergent is a big one where I see people getting ones with fragrances, which fragrances, for those of you who don't know, are a huge endocrine disruptor. And added fragrances are in a lot of things. Okay. And so, kind of taking a step back, looking at this big overview picture of things, if we are getting just indoctrinated with fragrance after fragrance with this toxic ingredient and this ingredient that's harmful for our bodies, that is going to lead to some issues. So we want to see where we can make some swaps. But like for me, I extremely enjoy perfume. I love to smell really, really good. And I have a few that I just am obsessed with. And I personally do not want to give up. And so what I do in this situation is I spray the perfume on my clothes and I don't spray it on my body. And that helps me, feel a little bit better about it. Obviously, you're still inhaling that, which isn't going to be the best, but not putting it directly on your skin is going to be way better than putting it on your skin. So anyways, got on a little tangent there. Going back to household items, swap your laundry detergent. Also, your dishwasher detergent is another one. And I'm going to make a big list of links for everything that I would highly recommend as like a swap. If anyone wants a swap list, you can go ahead and find that in the show notes. You can get the link for that below. So I'll mention brands here and there, but I'm not going to go into too much detail for each little product. Okay. Next thing is going to be cleaning products. There are a lot of cleaning products that are very toxic, and it is important to fill your home with cleaning products that are going to be non-toxic. Straight up, if you're, cleaning your house and using something with these like smelly fragrances and that's what you're inhaling all the time, that's going to be a poor air quality for you and something that might be harmful for your health. So swapping out cleaning products. And this leads into the next piece, which is your air. What's the quality of the air that you are breathing? Okay. It's super helpful to have an air purifier. Anyone who, I kind of learned from in the wellness industry, they're always talking about their air purifiers. So there's good different brands. I hear people talk about the Air Doctor, I believe. I don't have that one, but I have one that we have going full blast a good bit of the day, and we move it around the house. So especially if I maybe dust somewhere, I love to move the air purifier to that spot to kind of suck up all of that dust flying around in the air. So an air purifier is going to be amazing for just enhancing the quality of air in your home. Okay, so I would look into that, making that investment when you can. But if you can't, that's also okay. Something you could do is just really make sure you're having fresh air circulating through your home. maybe not if you live in a big city, but if you live somewhere where there isn't a ton of pollution, having air flowing through your home is going to be great to not just have that same air recirculating in your home. Like maybe it's, dusty and it's just kind of recirculating. It's going to be nice to get some of that fresh air in. Okay. So next thing I'll get into is products for women, typically. Products that us women typically use. And this is going to go for men as well. Like I'll start with deodorant, right? Both men and women's deodorant, a lot of them have ammonium in them or aluminum, whatever, or maybe both. Can't remember off the top of my head, but we're going to want to get a deodorant that is ammonia or aluminum free. I believe it's aluminum for deodorant. And also looking at ones that are naturally fragranced. Okay, so a brand that I really love is Everyman Jack. Personally, I use it's men's deodorant. I use theirs and it's really good. It's really the only like natural deodorant that I found that like actually works. I wouldn't say it's, gonna work as amazing as, one of the typical ones, but I typically reapply it twice and it works perfectly, perfectly good. So I really enjoy that one. That's going to be a big one that's easy to swap. Also, your toothpaste. Okay, if you're having fluoride in your toothpaste, fluoride is a neurotoxin, meaning it's toxic to your brain. So highly recommend swapping your toothpaste as well. Okay, so we could keep going down the rabbit hole, really all the things that we're using. We just want to be reading and looking at the ingredients and starting to learn what ingredients we want to avoid and what ingredients, we feel comfortable with. Okay, so, getting maybe like room mists that are naturally made with essential oils, with, like lavender, lemon. That's kind of one that I have that I spray on my bed after I make it, and kind of avoiding the ones that are just those artificial fragrance flavored ones. Okay, and makeup. Oh my goodness, this is a big one. And it's one that I personally really love. I love makeup. I love trying new makeup. It's a kind of a hobby for me and something really fun. And it's something that I do compromise on a bit. I know I'm aware that, makeup isn't going to be the healthiest thing for my skin, but I do try and get most of my products from places that are going to be like non-toxic. So there are, but there are also a few things that I just absolutely love that I use that aren't, the quote unquote clean version. But so I would highly recommend going on Credo Beauty. That is a makeup site that has all clean beauty. So I really enjoy a lot of their products. I tried a good bit. I think like last year I had a big order and I really love their products. So most of it is just as good. So easily, make that swap when, next time you go to buy makeup, just start to pay attention to these things. I'll actually say two more sites that I really love and I recommend looking at for clean products, whether it be beauty or otherwise, is first Healthily. So Healthily, that's spelled, I believe that it's spelled Healthillie. Okay, and if you type that in and it's wrong, it'll probably come up still. Other one is going to be Public Goods. Public Goods is really awesome for different household things. They also have a really like clean, minimalistic packaging to them. So I got their stuff a couple of years ago and I still use it to this day in my home. Oh, and that reminds me, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, all that kind of stuff. Lotion's a big one. Are we using lotion with, all this weird added fragrance, or are we using, more natural, maybe unscented or naturally scented lotion? That's going to be a big one as well. So next, let's go to kitchen. Kitchen is going to be a big one that I want you to start looking at. Is we want to avoid putting our food in plastic containers. If you can get glass Tupperware, that is going to be probably the best way to go. But the number one thing you want to avoid is never, ever, ever heat up food in plastic. Okay. We want to heat up food in glass, on ceramic plates, whatever it is. Never heat something up in plastic. Okay. Sometimes I'll store things in plastic. We are kind of working to migrate all of our plastic Tupperware into glass over time. But sometimes we'll store things in plastic, and I just make sure to change put it onto a plate before I heat it up. Okay. So that's how I do things. So moving away from plastic, also looking at the different pots and pans that you're using. There's so many pots and pans that have, I believe it's BPA or just some sort of, like, I think it might be Teflon, or maybe I'm not sure what Teflon is exactly, but I know that's a word related to pans. But you just want to make sure that the pans and pots that you're buying are going to be high quality and they're not going to be leaching things into your food. So, there are some really amazing pans out there that are very high quality. So you want to look for those. And, if you see in your little egg pan that it's starting to like peel up different stuff, it's having all these big scratches, that's probably a red flag that stuff is leaching into your food. Okay. Other things with kitchen. We want to look at also cutting boards. That's something that I wasn't actually like connecting in my brain for a while until recently, is we want to switch from like a plastic cutting board to like a wood one. And actually, my mom taught me this recently, that onions specifically are very much like something that absorbs everything in its path. And when we're putting that on like a plastic cutting board, that can sort of probably be a no-go. Okay, so that's something that I'm currently working on swapping myself. Next thing is clothing. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, Anna, they do it to everything. Why is everything toxic? And, it's true. They really, companies aren't out there making things for our health. They're out there making things for profit. And oftentimes the cheaper way to make things is by going the easy route and cutting corners and doing things that aren't in the best interest of our health. And so again, like the clothing thing is something that I'm aware of, and I'm working to, make some better purchases where I can, but also it's not like a big one where I'm like, hey, I'm going to throw out my whole wardrobe right now and, stress about this. But, it's something that over time I want to keep improving. So a lot of the clothing that we wear has different like polyesters in it, and just different substances that aren't going to be amazing to be like sitting in all day. And so we want to buy things that are going to be things like cotton, I believe, like wool is going to be good, things like that. This is something that I need to look more into in terms of like the specific fabrics that are best versus not. But it's something that, I'm continuing to do my research on. And the first thing that I swapped that made me feel really, really good, and I would probably suggest, especially for women, is getting better underwear. Okay. Not this like 10-year-old Victoria's Secret, like polyester, little stuff that we're wearing, is finding healthier underwear. And I just got I ordered new underwear from this company called Huha, Huha, and I absolutely love it. It is so comfortable and it is good for you. You can look at their website. They make everything with our, health in mind, the fabric that they're using, and I believe they use like zinc or something kind of down there that is a good thing for our skin. So that would be the first thing that I look at swapping when it comes to clothing. And so this is your sign. If you have a bunch of just really old random underwear like I did, and this is your sign to maybe get some new ones. Okay. Sheets. Sheets on your bed. That's another one to look at, is we want to be getting some higher quality sheets. I know that Cozy Earth is some high quality stuff. But yeah, just kind of things to like think about and pay attention to. Again, I know this is a lot and I know it feels like, oh my gosh, everything is an issue, but really I've made these changes over the past 3 years. 3 or 4 years, I've had this awareness and been swapping things over time. And I feel like now I'm in a place where, wow, I've really curated my environment to be avoiding these different things that I know are not quite serving my health. Okay, so it's taken time. So I would say, again, don't stress over this stuff. Stressing about it is probably going to be worse for your health than the things itself. But really, just over time, working to make some of these swaps. So I think that is everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really coming to my mind. We really covered the big bases of kitchen, household, personal items. These are all things that you can swap in your day. And probably number one, again, would be that water. All right. And so, this is the overview of all these like products, but we haven't even dove into nutrition. Okay. So if all this stuff is in our products in our day to day, what do you think's in our nutrition and all these packaged items at the grocery store? So that's maybe a whole nother episode on, what to kind of look for, what to avoid, what to not be afraid of, or what to swap. And so let me know if you do want a deeper dive in terms of different nutrition info. I'm happy to do that. Maybe we can find a guest who's an expert in that and bring them on the show. If anyone has anyone they know, definitely would love to connect with them. So, yeah, let me know what you think of this episode. If you start to make some of these swaps, I would love to know. Definitely message me. And if you have any questions, I'm here. If you want to, message me on Instagram or Facebook. But again, you can find that link below for all my favorite swaps. I'll have that ready for you guys by the time this episode is up. So, yeah, I will talk to you all in the next episode. Make sure to follow the show, leave a rating and review. I so appreciate it. It really helps me grow this mission, this message that I'm trying to share with the world. So, alrighty, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.